Hi, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Zach.
And welcome back to our channel. Today,
we're going to talk about that little deer.
Little Deer, which is not a nickname for me back in high school, by the way. Yes, we're talking about, of course, the Prince of the Forest, Bambi. Bambi is the fifth in the series that we're watching here, the animated films. Let's go through them quickly without being, reductive. We watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. We watched Pinocchio. We watched The Reluctant Dragon. And we watched Dumbo. And now we're watching Bambi.
Yes.
In case you are new to this whole series here, we're watching all of the Disney animated feature films in chronological order, starting with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, skipping over Fantasia, and all the way up until whenever we run out of them on Disney+, which could be quite a long time because we're not doing these fast.
Are we skipping Fantasia 2000 when we get there?
Yes. So we watched Bambi. I don't think I watched Bambi other than when I was a kid. So I don't think I had no memory of that film. I knew who Flower and Thumper were just because I'd seen them around the parks and whatnot, but I don't think I really had a memory of seeing that movie anytime that I would have memory of it. So it was kind of an old film there.
I don't think I have ever seen it. I mean, I know the major plot point because it's kind of the only plot point.
Let's address that for a minute, because I hear people oftentimes saying that all Disney films have where the parents are killed. Out of the 5 films that we just mentioned, this is the very first Disney film where the parents were killed, right? We have no idea who Snow White's parents are. We have no idea who Pinocchio... Well, Pinocchio was created by Geppetto, and he didn't get killed. The Reluctant Dragon didn't really have anyone in there that could be considered parents.
No.
And although that studio guide, who knows? And then Dumbo, Dumbo's mother didn't die, and we never saw Jumbo Sr. Like, we never saw Mr. Jumbo.
Dumbo got delivered by a stork.
Yeah. So that whole thing that all Disney films have parents dying, this is the first one that has that in it. So, and it wasn't shown on screen, right? It was shown off screen. Bambi was running away. We hear a gunshot. And then, it is heartbreaking to hear a little child read the line, "Mom, Mother, Mommy." It's very sad. But there you go. I intensely disliked this film. What did you think?
So we talked about this a little bit right after we watched it. And I think we touched on this in the Dumbo video. The Disney films of this era are very slow and very meandering and have almost zero plot.
I think...
And I didn't intensely dislike it, but it's for it being heralded as one of the greatest films of all time and one of the greatest Disney films of all time, I'm not sure it necessarily deserves that distinction.
Okay, but keep in mind that we had all of 5 films, or all of 4 films ahead of it, if you count Fantasia, all of 5 films ahead of it to compare it against. So at the time, I think what it is that a lot of early Disney films, not only, like I mentioned last time, are geared towards children, which throws me because nowadays we watch a lot of animated things that aren't geared towards something that is animated does not necessarily mean it's just for children nowadays, right? You look at any of the Pixar films, they're for kids, but they're also for adults. Mm-hmm. And this did not exist in these early Disney films. But also, I think they were just still fascinated with the idea that we can draw drawings that hit certain beats of music, right? Like they were very fascinated with making the animation flow with music. There was a lot of music in Bambi. Not a lot of songs that you'll remember, but there's a lot of music in Bambi, and it all kind of involved things hitting beats.
I couldn't actually tell you any of the songs in Bambi. I think there's only like 2.
Little April showers, da 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 da. That's the only one I can think of, and I don't even remember the words to it. But also because it was recorded in 1940 on 1940s recording equipment, it doesn't sound great today. So it's like listening to an AM radio and some animation roughly hitting the beats on an AM radio station, which was great at the time, right? Think about this. Think about King Kong and how great the claymation was to people going into theater because they hadn't seen something like that. We look back at it now through modern eyes, and it's crafty looking. It's like you can see thumbprints and whatnot.
Jurassic Park, like you pointed out.
Jurassic Park, which was technically a marvel because it was the first time that we had 3D CGI characters inside of a moving picture. Prior to that, we would have to lock down the cameras and to do some kind of 3D insertion. Jurassic Park was the first film that used moving cameras, and then they later put the 3D into something that was moving, a tracking shot. So that was what made Jurassic Park amazing. But if you go back and look at Jurassic Park now, you can see some pieces that, because CGI has advanced so much, you can see the flaws in it. So I think a lot of it is just a victim of... all of this is a very long-winded way of saying that it's like, I'm not discounting that it was, a great film at the time. I don't know that Bambi holds up well over the decades.
And I feel like that's going to be a trend at least until we get to the more well-known Disney films.
Yeah, which we're
like
not...
the 50s and the 60s.
We're not getting there for a while. There's like 6 more films ahead of us before we reach Cinderella. Yeah, and one of those is the Three Caballeros, which I kind of have heard about. But like Victory Through Air Power and some of these other films, I knew nothing about that we're going to be watching. So this could be a tedious thing. Maybe we should go back to making drinks for these movies. But anyway, I feel like it was, like Zach said, it was very slow. It was very plotting.
There is no plot to this movie. Bambi grows up, his mom dies, he becomes prince, the forest catches on fire, he escapes.
Also, not a lot of thought given to the line of succession of forest royalty, because he was called the Little Prince, but his father was called the Prince. And then when he was an adult, they called him a prince, but his father was still alive. Who's the king? Wait, and he had 2 children. Are one of them a princess now? I'm very confused by the whole thing. If I were a forest creature, let's just put myself in that mindset for a moment. This is a thought experiment. Ooh. If I was a forest creature, I don't know that I would elect or choose my monarch to be like this most skittish animal in the forest. I mean, there's literally a phrase, deer in the headlights, that comes from just being, terrified and not knowing how to move. It's like, I don't know that I would really want that to be my monarch, right? I think I would look for a stronger, creature to look up to lead me.
Although, I mean, of the creatures that we see in the movie, are any of them really good candidates?
I think Thumper was. Thumper was an amazing candidate. Rabbits in general. They certainly breed like royalty. Let me think.
The skunk.
Flower.
The butterflies.
The butterflies, yeah. Yeah, they didn't show us a lot. So
No.
maybe it was a very small forest kingdom. I don't know. I'm not sure what their tax base is, whether there's some kind of serfdom deal there, and if they get some kind of royalties paid for them there. I don't know. Somehow I know it's enough of a thing that some trivia questions that we've had to answer for pin trading before has been, name several princes or whatever, and Bambi is a valid answer to that. So in Disney lore, Disney is considered a prince.
You mean Bambi?
What did I say?
Disney. In Disney lore, Walt Disney is considered a prince?
Yeah. I thought I said Bambi. I'll edit this video and we'll see whether I said it or not. I think he's wrong. He thinks I'm wrong. Who knows? Anyway, that was our movie. Did you have anything else to add for Bambi?
I would like to know if you are one of those people that believes Bambi is the greatest Disney animation of all time, or at least up there. Why?
Yeah, tell us down below in the comments.
Tell us in the comments.
And this isn't like a dig. We're not going to argue with you.
No.
Yeah.
Well, all opinions are valid.
Yeah.
But I just want to know why. I just don't get the hype.
Yeah, it was also Another thing that we haven't talked about here is that all of these films are in 4:3 aspects, so that this is before widescreen film. So it was also a very boxy kind of experience. I think that I want to say that there was some digital remastering or something later of some of the films that made them widescreen. Bambi clearly was not one of them. I think they did that with Fantasia, which we skipped. Ironically, we skipped Fantasia because it is nothing more than music, animated things hitting the beats of music, which turns out to be exactly what Bambi is. But here we are. We're 5 films into this Disney archive or Disney
chronology.
The Disney Chronology Project, we'll call it, just to give it a cool name. Hey, do you know about the DCP, the Disney Chronology Project? Ooh.
That would confuse people.
But we're fine, and we haven't really hit any of what we would consider to be classic Disney characters yet, right? We there's no Donald, there's no Mickey, there's no Goofy. We haven't run into any of those yet.
I mean, there was Mickey in Fantasia.
We skipped over Fantasia.
Yes, we did.
And Donald briefly was in The Reluctant Dragon in kind of a short, and I think Goofy was in a short in Reluctant Dragon. But yeah, so it's certainly no sighting of the Fab Five yet. I'm curious what Victory Through Air Power is. I knew it was a wartime propaganda film, but I'm not sure if it has Donald Duck in it or not.
We'll find out when we get there.
We will. But hey, if you like what we do here on this channel, we don't just do Disney films. We normally do normally do Disney We normally do Disney pin trading, but with the closing of the parks right now, it's difficult to do some pin trading. However, it is one particular dog's 90th birthday this year, and I did get from the Shop Disney store. Still sounds weird to say. From the Shop Disney store, I got me some limited edition Pluto pins, which we'll be opening on the next video. Because they came with a limited edition Pluto mystery box. So, and for some reason, they limited it to 1 per customer. So we only got 2 of them. Because there's 2 of us, right?
Yes.
So, also, I know I could. They're still in stock. I could go back and buy more, but it's $5 shipping on every one. So,
and since they're not supposed to be putting limited edition things in the parks,
yeah. Also, some other things here. We are going back to the park later next week. We'll be going to Epcot.
Yes,
on
Friday,
on the 18th of September. We are using a new camera setup here, so if it looks different this time, it's because we've kicked the old G7X Mark II.
Kind of a test run for the new camera, and we were futzing around with the background in the studio. We added some new shelving.
There's new shelving back there. Have some things. We have no idea how it looks. It could look like crap. We don't know. Let us know down below in the comments. But
the background will be an experiment for a while.
All of it, which is to say, if you like what we do here, make sure you click on the like button, click the subscribe button. We're eking up on 1,000 subscribers, which just means that we can do live stream stuff once we hit 1,000. Because right now we can't live stream from the park because we have to hit 1,000 subscribers to do that. So if you would like to see us do some live streaming from the park, then make sure you tell your friends to subscribe. This, all of which is just a long-winded say of thing. Thank you for watching, and share it with people that may like it.
Yes. If you have comments, comment down below.
And if you'd like to reach out to us on the socials, our information is down below in the doobly-doo.
So when we realized it's been 20-something days since we put out a video.
Do you have a watch?
Sorry about that.
Looking at
yes, I'm looking at my non-existent watch.
My watch.
Sorry about that.
Sorry? Are you Canadian now?
Yes.
Canadian?
I have to prepare to go to Epcot.
Oh, great. Well, I'm sure that we'll be all abooted. All right. Till next time.
See you real soon.